You're watching NFL Daily. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready and excited to answer all y'all's questions. Friendly reminder, this was recorded on Monday, so if anything happens or changes, please feel free to let me know. First question coming in here is from the RC Plane Builder. Which rookie quarterback do you see having the most success with their teams? It's a good question. I'm always a big believer that you got to have talent around you in order to succeed. I will also say that I'm also a big believer in when you're taken early, you have a better opportunity because your team invests more in you. So for that reason, I'll go with Kenny Pickett because he was drafted at number 20 overall to Pittsburgh. But don't sleep on Malik Willis, man. The Titans do scare me a little bit from a receiver standpoint in the long term, but Malik Willis is the guy who I ranked the highest. But also, I think for the short term, it's probably Kenny Pickett. Let's go to Nick Fury, 55. Hey, how are you? You know what, Nick? Not doing too bad, bro. How are you? I want to talk about the Seahawks mock game. Looked like they had played better than Smith. By looking at the stats in the game, is Lock the better option, yes or no? Personally, I do think Drew Lock is a better quarterback than Geno Smith. I do think the reason why Geno has the early leg up or is the starter from day one is because he's had the work in this offense in the past. He has, or he should have, better chemistry with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. But long term, Drew Lock is probably better. But realistically, dude, you can't be very confident in either of these quarterbacks. I don't think either of them is top 25. Next question coming in here is from Evan Henders. What up, my dog? Vikings should call Buffalo and try to get Trey Edmunds. Trey Edmunds is a pretty good player. You're not going to just be able to pick up the phone and get somebody like this. I do think the Vikings have a need on the defensive side of the football, especially in a player like Edmunds, who to me is one of these rare hybrid players that can play linebacker. He can play safety as well, so you can move him all over the football field. It's just how much money do you think they're going to have to give up? So we are doing this here live on NFL Daily, and I want to know from all y'all watching right now, shout out your favorite NFL team. Are you a Raider fan? Where's the nation at? What about 49ers? I know we got a lot of Cowboys, Seahawks, Titans, Dolphins. We got Vikings fans in the chat. Ravens, let me know who is your favorite NFL team. Let's go to this next one coming in here on NFL Daily from Sloppy Sammy. Wonder why he call you that. Should the Titans try to trade for Kareem Hunt? My answer to this would be no. And if you make the trade, you owe him $6.25 million. Okay, that's off the first. You're probably going to have to give up a fourth-round pick. That's number two. And I think having a backup for Derrick Henry is good, but I'm not going to have a backup at $6.25 million for Henry, a running back who, I get it, is coming off an injury, but they call him King Henry for a reason. I want him out there on the field as much as humanly possible. Super Chat time. This one is coming in from my guy, David Taken. Seabass the GOAT from Raider Nation. So I asked the question earlier, Justin Tucker or Seabass? Seabass was good, but the numbers, they support Justin Tucker a little bit more in terms of being the better overall kicker. Why, Big Jordan, you're next up here, my dog. What's up, Mitch? My question is, why isn't there a quarterback better than Matt Golden Corral? Is getting ugly here, sadly. The GOAT is the God, or the GOAT is the GOAT. I actually like Matt Corral, and I think anytime you suffer an injury when he did, it's super unfortunate because you're in a bowl game. You want to see how he can end up doing. But why is their quarterback better than Matt Golden Corral? I don't know, dude. Carolina right now is an absolute shit show in terms of overall quarterback talent. Jeff Reed, what is more likely, the Browns not having an offseason catastrophe or the Lions win the Super Bowl? What is more likely? Oh, boy. I guess Browns offseason catastrophe, just because the Lions aren't going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. They got Jared Goff, man, and I just don't see it. I'm hoping that the Browns don't have an offseason catastrophe next offseason. I actually kind of feel bad for a lot of Browns fans because they've always been the team that you can't really hate on Cleveland because of how bad they've been. You're rooting for them through and through. But now the fact that they went out and got that guy, Deshaun Watson, I can't root for him. I'm sorry. There's no chance in hell I'm rooting for the Browns to succeed this upcoming season. If you want more content from Chat Sports, give us a follow on Rumble. How do you do that? All you got to do is go to rumble.com/NFL NFL Daily. You can watch our videos ad-free. You can also listen to them like a podcast. So if that interests you because you're a busy guy, I'm a busy dude too. When I'm walking my dog Chuck, I can't just sit there and watch him, right? While I'm walking. No, you can't do that. You put the phone in your pocket, you listen to it like a podcast, and you keep on going about your day. If that sounds good to you, give us a follow, rumble.com/NFL Daily, or rewind a little bit and scan that QR code. Eli Large, what up, my guy? Do you think Garrett Bradbury starts week 1? So you're talking about Vikings starting center Garrett Bradbury as it stands right now. The reports aren't good, man. If I was Minnesota with as much concentration as you have around Kevin O'Connell, as much concentration as you have on that offense in general, if there was a player like J.C. Treader, I would do everything I can to get J.C. Treader to Minnesota because Garrett Bradbury, he ain't it. To stay up to date on everything going on around the National Football League, the best coverage on YouTube. Not only are we interactive, not only are we free, we keep you up to date. We do mailbags like this, so if that interests you, hit that sub button. Let's go to Stevie. Steve, I don't know. Do you think that the Bills should pick up OBJ? If you have an opportunity to get Odell Beckham Jr., you do it. Now, obviously, I don't know what he wants in terms of money. I don't know if he's going to be healthy by week 1. But if I'm Buffalo, okay, and I lost the game that I did last season to Kansas City in that shootout, I think, how the heck can I compete with the Chiefs? I need more firepower. I would try to bring as much offensive talent as I can to build around Josh Allen, because then if you get by Kansas City, you get by the Bengals and some of these other top teams in the AFC, what happens if you've got to take on the Rams? Because I think if he doesn't go to Buffalo, the next most likely team for OBJ, probably the defending Super Bowl champs, the Los Angeles Rams. Vince, what up, my dog? Which offensive rookie impressed the most so far? It's kind of a tough question for the simple fact of I haven't seen any of these guys in preseason. If you want my sleeper pick, I'm trying to think of his name exactly, but it's the Chiefs running back Pacheco, I believe is how you pronounce the name. Sounds like he's been getting a lot of the work with the first team. One of my buddies who works close with the Chiefs told me that they could be using him like the way that they used Jerick McKinnon last season. So if you want a sleeper for fantasy teams, Pacheco, the running back for Kansas City, I've heard a lot of good things about him. The RC Plane Builder, should the Falcons pursue a trade for Kareem Hunt and sign Ndamukong Suh? I'm going to say no to both of these for the simple fact of you brought back Cordell Patterson. He's your running back. And a lot of times, fans don't like to hear this, but the Falcons are not in win-now mode. They are not a team that's going to win a lot of football games this season. I would put them in my bottom 5. For that reason, you build for the future. Kareem Hunt's not going to help you get it that much better, and Ndamukong Suh probably fills a need on your defensive interior, but these are teams that aren't going to compete as far as I'm concerned for actually winning something. What up, Larry Lapper? Should the Falcons just say F it and give the reins to Ritter for the year to see what he has, and if he's not good, then draft a quarterback round 1 in 2023. Now, personally for me, I'm team let Marcus Mariota test out the waters because this allows you, your rookie quarterback, Desmond Ritter, to learn behind somebody very comparable to him and just try to absorb as much of the offense as you can instead of throwing him out there to the Wolves and getting feasted on. Because I do believe if you do that too early, it can really screw up with the quarterback's psyche. I personally would take a page out of what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. I would take a page out of the book of what the 49ers are going to do with Trey Lance here. You let Mariota rock and roll this upcoming season. But if he's like grandma getting out of the tub bad Mariota, then who knows? You might see Ritter a little bit later on. But what do you guys think? Who starts here for Atlanta? If you were running the team, would you trot out the rookie, Desmond Ritter from Cincinnati, or would you go with the NFL vet out of Oregon? He's bounced around the NFL here a little bit, got with the Titans, was with the Raiders the past 2 seasons. DR for Desmond Ritter, MM for Marcus Mariota. All right, what up, Johan? Appreciate it. Do you think Stephen Ross will sell the team after the scandal that involves with tampering Tom Brady and Sean Payton? I would say unless he is made to sell the team, no. Because I bet you Stephen Ross probably doesn't think he did anything wrong. A lot of times when you see situations like this, I don't really think that they feel bad or they think they did anything wrong. They just got caught. So, no, I don't think Stephen Ross sells the team unless he's made to sell the team. Jeff Stamps, 100% healthy. Who are you taking, Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry? I'm going with King Henry. If you were to tell me for one season and one season alone, I'll probably go Derrick Henry. If I got to build my running back room for the next 3 seasons, I'll go with Jonathan Taylor. I loved Taylor when he first came out of Wisconsin. I think he's actually a lot better at catching the football than people give him credit. Personally, I think Taylor is a better ball catcher, giggity, than Derrick Henry is right now. Henry is more physical, and it might depend on what type of offense you're trying to run. But long-term, next 3 years for a running back life cycle, I'll say Jonathan Taylor this upcoming season. If they both play 17 games, yeah, I'm going to go with King Henry. If you want even more takes on social media, places like Instagram, like on Twitter, I'm posting stuff all the time around the Raiders, fantasy football, NFL news, and rumors updates. And if that interests you, remember, the DMs are open, so slide in at MitchellRenz365. What up, JK? Are you kidding? Do you see the Cardinals being in the mix for a spot or fighting with Seattle to stay out of last place? I would say they're more likely to be fighting for a spot than to be in last place. Like, the Seahawks, to me, are arguably the worst team in the National Football League. And then it's really going to come down to what Trey Lance is. If Trey Lance takes a leap forward, that 49ers team's going to scare some people. If he's not ready to take that next step, 49ers could be down there a little bit. I would say Arizona is going to be a team that's going to be around 9 to 10 wins this upcoming season. Thomas Schmidt, what is the biggest sleeper team coming into the season? Biggest sleeper team entering the season? You know, I'm going to go with Baltimore, and I'm going to say the Ravens for the simple fact of they were the #1 seed in the AFC last season. And then Lamar Jackson got hurt. I get that some people want to rip on Lamar. I get that that offense is a lot of times unsexy. But Lamar's an absolute nightmare. So when I think a sleeper team, a team that didn't make the playoffs, a team that's getting disrespected a little bit, I'm going to say the Baltimore Ravens.